Now, can I request Mr. Deepak Sharma, Secretary of Indian Society of Western Australia, to kindly come up onto the stage.
Namaskar and good evening to everyone. Before I begin, let me acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and I also like to pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. On behalf of Indian Society of Western Australia, I extend a warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, members of the ISWA Life members, association members, and all the members of the public who are present today. As you all know, this year is special as we celebrate 75 years of India's independence. And this Sangam for this year is a tribute to our motherland, Ma Tujhe Salam. In translation, it means, Mother, we bow to you in respect. So this year's program is bigger and in some ways better, with 300 local artists and our own Indian associations presenting the depth and the richness of the Indian culture and art. It is always a challenge to fit as much talent as we have around here in a short period of time, but the cultural team has done a wonderful job. So you be ready to be mesmerized by the sheer genius that will be on display tonight. But before we go there, we have a formal event which will take some time and where we will hear from our eminent dignitaries who have graciously accepted our invite to join in this wonderful celebrations. Can we all give them a wonderful applause and welcome them, please? Thank you. Now, I'll leave you in the capable hands of Dr. Shweta to continue the proceedings. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deepak Sharma. Now we have the introduction of ISWA Management Committee. Firstly, I would like to welcome Mr. Satish Nair, President of ISWA, and Mrs. Sindhu Nair. Mr. Nair has been an exploration geologist with more than 25 years of experience. Apart from serving ISWA in various capacities for more than 4 years, he was the lead for various new and popular initiatives like COVID assistance program for more than 1,000 temporary residents, repatriation flights to India, first ever India Day parade, and there are many more to the list. Next, now I would like to welcome Mr. Deepak Gupta, Vice President of ISWA, and Mrs. Manisha Gupta. Mr. Gupta has CP Engineering with more than 25 years of experience and was a committee member and assistant treasurer in the last 2 MCs. He's known yoga and mindfulness mentor and has previously managed Holy International Day of Yoga and medical seminars. Now please welcome Mr. Deepak Sharma, Secretary of ISWA, and Mrs. Rashmi Sharma. Mr. Sharma is an engineer, MBA, and was the management committee member in the previous term and involved in development of ICC. He is a member of Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh and on board of Midlas, a disability advocacy organization, and the board of Wellington Senior High School. Next, I would like to welcome Mr. Shubhrata Bhattacharjee, Treasurer of ISWA, and Mrs. Rashi Bhattacharjee. Mr. Bhattacharjee is an engineering manager in the biggest banking groups of Australia and was a treasurer in the previous management committee. He was a founder of Purobi Association of WA, a drama enthusiastic and involved in numerous stage shows across Perth. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Rakesh Ban, Assistant Secretary of ISWA, and Mrs. Jyoti Ban. Mr. Ban is a mechanical engineering and managing director of Ispat Contracting WA company and was the management committee in the previous term. He is a coordinator of Sangam this year and previously led the student wing holy event and is the founder of Kashmiri Pandit Society of WA. Next, I would like to welcome Mrs. Kirtida Shah, Assistant Treasurer of ISWA, and Mr. Jignesh Shah. Mrs. Shah is a health professional and was a committee member in the previous Management Committee. She is an active volunteer, recipient of GSWA Shiromani Award, and a lead member of Nari Organizing Committee, and is a founder of Saptapati Matrimonial Services. Next, I would also like to call on to the stage Mr. Binod Agrawala, committee member, and Mrs. Neelu Agrawala. Mr. Agrawala is a water and wastewater process specialist at Water Corporation. He has been the treasurer and secretary in the past management committees. He has been involved in the Indian Community Center project since the beginning. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Divya Sharma, committee member, and Mr. Sandeep Sharma. Dr. Sharma is an anesthetist, well-being advocate, and director of clinical training at Sir Charles Gardner Hospital. She's currently looking after the aged care services, COVID vaccination drive, and has been a life member representative in the ISWA Council for the past 2 years. Next, I would like to welcome Mrs. Bindya Manchanda, a committee member, and Mr. Sanjeev Manchanda. Mrs. Manchanda is an electronic engineer and currently runs her own business. She's currently the chair of ISWA Women's Wing, which has been initiated back in 2017. She's also involved in other community organizations such as Hindi Samaj, Sikh Association of WA, and Perth Hindu Temple. Please welcome Mr. Rohan Ambani, committee member, and Mrs. Ashima Ambani. Mr. Ambani has an advanced master's in professional accounting from UWA and a business owner of Monto Fresco chain of restaurants. He coordinated the first ever ISWA Business Bazaar and is coordinator for this year's Diwali Mela. Please welcome Mr. Jasjeet Maan, committee member, and Mrs. Nirbir Maan. Mr. Maan is transport and logistic business owner. He was a member of the 2018 to 2020 member committee. He has been involved as a sponsorship coordinator and volunteered with various Punjabi and Sikh community organizations, including Varsa Club. Next, please welcome Mrs. Bitika Kasta, committee member, and Mr. Gautam Kasta. Mrs. Kasta is an NDIS service provider with over 16 years as a manager, community supports. She's currently the domestic violence support person at ISWA and has been the council member since 2019. Last but not the least, please welcome Mr. Veeranna Sathareddy, immediate vice president of ISWA, and Mrs. Rupa Sathareddy. He is the deputy project manager of Indian Community Center, past president of Baswa Samiti of Australia, winner of Humanitarian Award for the community service, and also appointed as a multicultural ambassador for Australian Mental Health Foundation. Please give them all a big round of applause.